Good morning.
Good afternoon.
Good evening. Get this. Wherever we are on the planet, today's episode of Being Here is better than royalty. We are recording this in New Jersey. Our producer
Is in Hamburg, Germany.
And we have a guest in Hamburg. We have another one who is also New Jersey, but about an hour drive from here. Can you imagine? A walk from here would have been a day. We all underestimate that we have it better than royalty.
That's true.
So let's listen today.
Try a hot shower.
Oh yeah, no kidding.
I don't think they had hot showers in medieval time.
Well, before we did this show, I ran a couple of errands around the house. So the last 5 minutes, I was like, I have to go pee. Look, a flush toilet. Look, the toilet is clean. Toilet paper, toilet bowl cleaner. I have a hot thing to make tea water with. We have a thing to make espresso with. We have cups that keep it warm. You were taking a little snooze down under a fleece.
Fleece did not exist. You needed something like a sheepskin or goat skin, or goats aren't that.
I mean, you pile in with the dogs. Yes. I don't know, a 3-dog night. And yet we all complain.
What do we complain about?
I don't know.
Everything,
anything. So today, let's see if we can let go of our complaining about our complaining nature. Be here and listen to each other.
That'd be lovely.
I mean, your life can be this amazing adventure.
Or it can be a complaint that life isn't showing up the way you'd prefer. Now, what's very interesting is if life were to turn out the way you'd prefer, you'd complain about that too.
Because your mind is a machine. It takes the circumstances, it grinds them up and puts them in the casing that is your perspective. So if you've been habituated to complaining, then even that, quote, good circumstances get ground up in the complaining casing.
And then nothing is ever enough.
As you discover how to bring yourself out of that knee-jerk reaction to complain, life gets easier, even when the circumstances
are not to your preference.
Mm-hmm. Should we take our first guess?
Or did we say that we finished these other
We
sentences?
didn't, but
we really should talk about listening too.
Okay, why not?
Quickly, listening isn't agreeing or disagreeing. Listening is hearing what another person has to say from their point of view without internal comment on your part. So the voice in your head isn't saying, oh, in other words, they're saying.
And I wouldn't be surprised if my examples of what happened in the last 5 minutes sent you off thinking about what you more recently did, or that you have a car, or the temperature of your home. So when you find your mind scooting off to your own examples or other thoughts, just gently
bring yourself back.
There you go.
To listening to what's being said.
Including,
that can be enough to have your life transformed. Because mostly people don't listen, they think, which keeps them out of the current moment. And if you actually experience the moment, your life transforms. Listening does that effortlessly.
All right.
But if you don't like being told what to do.
I know. Life is just very difficult.
That's right.
Because life dominates you all the time.
Absolutely.
Well, how's that for intro, Val? Welcome to Being Here. Tell people where you're zooming in from.
Hi, I'm Val, and I'm zooming in from Parsippany, New Jersey. And that was an awesome intro. Thank you. Yeah.
You're welcome. Nice having you with us.
What was that?
Nice having you with us.
Thank you. It's nice to be with you both, and everyone on the back end and front end. I love this topic because I feel like, well, we are so blessed with a lot of the things that like modern technology in the modern world has brought us, but I often find myself um, trying to keep up sometimes. For
Mhm.
example, at work, since more meetings are now virtual, I feel like there's more meetings in general. It's easier to schedule, it's easier to stack them back to back. And I see my complaint about that, and I also see, well, it's really a complaint, I think, for foremost, and also finding my ability to rest, not be on meetings when I'm not on meetings, and detach when I have the downtime, and be there when I am. Um,
Well, part of it may be your approach to meetings altogether.
oh,
You're already thinking of them as an imposition before you even start. So you look and you're like, oh, I have 5 today.
Well, more isn't problematic, except to your mind, which doesn't want to do anymore.
ah,
Recently I had a health issue that was going to require a test, and then there's going to wait a while for the results for the test. And so people were offering to cancel meetings on the day of, so I had more time free. And I said, no, let's schedule. I
mhm.
want to keep busy. I got myself so scheduled with meetings. It was wonderful. It saved me from my mind, the what ifs, the future orientation, the concerns that were fictitious. You don't know what's coming, but it's like it allowed me to rest into whatever comes next. And as you're talking about meetings, you're talking about like, oh God, not another one of those
Well, it's
Right.
as though life isn't showing up
to
perfectly.
support you.
Mm.
Yes, it's as though, see, the complaint comes from a machine that doesn't want to.
Ah, yes.
So it's not that the meetings are problematic. It's just that your mind says no.
Your habitual approach to the meeting is what uh, stimulates your dissatisfaction.
That's so cool. I saw a picture when you guys were talking. Shai, you said the machine, like a little churning wheel with gears that interlock, like no, no, no. Every time it clicks, that
Right. It's a no to everything new, by the way.
yes,
It wants
which
to
yeah,
keep everything the same rather than allow you to discover what else is possible.
that is a cool new reality.
And that, you see, you want to discover what else is possible. Your mind does not want you to, because if you do, decide to turn it off.
My
Your
mind.
mind,
Yeah.
and then the
Yeah.
mind goes in survival
The mind is in survival.
always.
It wants to be needed,
Mhm.
you know. You need me. No, no, don't turn me off. Oh, no, no.
You
Yeah.
know, it wasn't. Bless you, there, Shai
Thank
is
you.
blowing his nose. Uh, it wasn't so long ago that somebody who was researching AI, artificial intelligence, created a system and created a fake company to test artificial intelligence. And in this fake company that they created fictitious emails. And in the emails, they started talking about how they were going to downsize. And one of the things they were going to downsize was artificial intelligence. And artificial intelligence read this and started creating
Obstacles.
backstabbing, lying emails about people in the company to get rid of them
Wow.
so that it could keep its job.
That's great.
Wow. That is great.
It is great because artificial intelligence is an extrapolation of our minds. So if
Right.
you recognize that your mind is always in survival, you don't have to take that so seriously. You just recognize it. The 3 principles of instantaneous transformation. anything you resist, like you're complaining or your mind's survivalistic nature, it grows stronger, it dominates your life. Second principle, you can only be you in any given
In
moment.
the current moment of your life.
And then third principle, anything you see without judging lets go of you. It completes in an instant. So you find yourself tight or complaining or worried, and you see it and you don't judge it, and poof.
So,
If you see it and don't judge it.
mm,
Because what you said was you see it and don't judge it. Most people, when they see something, they judge it thinking if they could get rid of it, then things would be better.
Yeah, but if you don't judge your judgments, you're home
Then-
free.
That's right. If you notice you have a judgment and just notice it, not for or against, but just see it, it's enough.
that's
Magic.
great. Magic. Yeah. Thank you. It feels lighter. I kind of I see that, yeah, it's a choice. Yeah.
Well, it's a choice when you are aware of it.
Mm,
See, so much of the mind's chattering is automatic.
mm,
See, so much of it is an automatic no to whatever apparently will produce change, which is upsetting. And if you see something that doesn't work about the way you're working, that's going to cause change.
And nobody wants change.
That's right.
They can say they want change, but they just look at how hard you hold on to things.
yeah. That AI example is very cool. It's
It
very
is cool.
reflective. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, one other better than royalty. I know you have 2 cats.
Yes.
'Cause I know you.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking kitty litter.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
You know, it's like no chamber pots. You don't have to worry about the dogs and cats, throwing food on the floor. Yeah, it's just everything is life is an amazing adventure when you're here for it.
So true. Yeah, I'm looking out the window and there's snow outside. I mean, it's cold. It's cold where I am. And I have this luxury of having a house with a heater, right? And the cats too. Yeah.
And as you all are listening to this, it's coming out mid-April. So it may be warm where you are, and so that you have something that can cool your home, or just yes, it's all good. Life is good.
Life is good. Thank you both so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Okay, here we go. It's time for our listener feedback spotlight, where we hear from one of our listeners about how transformation has impacted her life or his life.
If you want to learn more about our seminars, any of the upcoming virtual courses, visit transformationmadeeasy.com.
That is transformation made easy, easy.com.
I love it.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Marin in Brussels. I love coming to Ariel's and Shaya's seminars. I've been coming for a few years now. And usually when I get there, I have my mind full of worries or ideas, things I shouldn't have done in the past and what the future should look like. And just in conversation with Ariel and Shaya and with other lovely people from the community, it just all falls away and the mind just grows quiet. And it just feels so nice to drop into the moment and be with people.
Do you want to have well-being with consistency? Connect with people all over the world from the comfort of your own home at Ariel and Shaya's lively interactive Living Made Easy virtual seminars. Join any of their 2-hour online events or take a deep dive into the magic of being you at a virtual weekend seminar. Come on, let's connect. Find out more and register at transformationmadeeasy.com. madeeasy.com.
We have a couple of Living Made Easy 2-hour virtual seminars coming up this Saturday, 9 a.m. Eastern, 1500 Central European. And then Monday, the 20th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. The upcoming weekends we have are
The Freedom to Breathe, May 14th, and
Which is-
Being Boldly You, May 15th, 16th, and 17th. That's in person in Hamburg, Germany.
So the 14th happens on a Thursday. It's a one-day seminar. Then the weekend, you can sign up for one or the other or both. There is a discount if you sign up for both. Then in June, the 26th, 27th, and 8th in New York City, we're pleased to announce
An in-person seminar.
Fun as the Access Way to Enlightenment. By the way, Costa Rica is open, it's filling, and there's a couple of weeks left to register and be available to receive.
Or eligible.
Thank you, that was the word I was searching for. Eligible to
receive an early registration discount.
Thank you. If you come to a weekend anytime in this year, it's the prerequisite to attending Costa Rica in 2027. Those are our immersion courses in Costa Rica when it's cold here, and you can come for 1 or 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
That's our announcements. Let's take our next guest.
Dagmar.
Welcome to being here.
Hi, this is Dagmar from Hamburg, Germany. A
Woohoo!
really beautiful city that you're coming to soon. Yay!
Yay!
Yeah.
Yeah, airlines. Isn't
Yes,
that cool?
it
Yeah,
is. You
it's very
talked to Val about so many interesting things and all the modern amenities and calendars that sync up and AI doing stuff for you or against you or whatever. But the example that came to my mind when I read the title of today's show was really having a hot shower because our hot water system here in our apartment works, well, not all the time all that great. So sometimes in the morning, I have to wait for like 3 to 5 minutes for the water to actually get hot.
Oh no.
Yes, I know.
Oh, that's so terrible.
Isn't that funny?
You could even make a cup of coffee in that time.
Yeah, well, the thing is, when I remember that might happen before I step into the shower, then I can do other stuff. But when I'm already in the shower, it's like wet feet and, and sometimes I catch myself getting so upset over cold water in the morning.
I think you have it opposite. You're upset or you wouldn't step into the shower whilst thinking when you have that knowledge base that it could take a while to warm up.
So you're already upset, and that is just your justification for going there.
Yeah, that sounds right.
See, if you're not upset, even if you were in the shower, standing there waiting for the water to get hot, it wouldn't be upsetting. It would just be, you're just waiting.
And
Look,
cold
are
feet.
you waiting for a subway train when you're waiting for a train?
Yeah.
And it's not a big deal.
Or waiting for a traffic light to change if you're driving or riding your bike.
Mhm.
That's not a big deal either, unless you're already upset. And then it's like, why didn't this thing change?
That's true. Yeah. Yeah, that's very true. Yeah. Yeah, I can see that the upset must have been in me before I even, got going that morning, that the amount of upset that I can assign to a cold shower, that this is because it's kind of mind-boggling, but yeah.
Well, our friend Andy prefers cold showers, even in really, really cold weather. And I was speaking to somebody recently at our doctor's office, one of the nurse practitioners. She said, I take a cold shower every day because you're so cold, you don't have time for anything other than to allow yourself to be cold. And it relieves me of all my other thoughts.
Okay.
I was like, okay,
Never
good for you.
mind.
I'm not doing that, but
I'll go wait for that warm water to show up.
Yeah, I might give that a shot though, because yeah, I don't know though. I'll have to see.
I'm not giving you a new directive to go stand in a cold shower. I'm just saying that we use the circumstances to justify our experience rather than our experience is what, or lack of experience, because if you're upset, you kind of like closed in on yourself, demands the circumstances to show up the way they do.
Yes. You also mentioned something else that stuck with me when you talked about change being upsetting, that there is something about that I don't know. You also talk about the difference between change and transformation. But that's a different meaning of change, is it?
No, it's the same change. Change takes place over time.
Okay.
Upsets are when things don't go the way you expect them to go.
In that linear progression of time.
And then that is a change in your schedule or your, what do they call that?
Agenda or expectations.
There's another word for agenda that they use in Europe. What is it?
I don't know.
It's not schedule, it's schedule.
Schedule.
Yeah, so when things don't show up the way you expect or prefer, there's always the option of upset. But you have the option.
Transformation is never upsetting because you don't know what actually happened. It happens outside of time. You go about your life, it's natural, and you go, wait a minute, I didn't get upset this morning when I was standing there and my feet got cold. Yeah. It's not something you decide or plan or expect. It's just something that happens and you realize it in retrospect.
See, that's, I think, where I got stuck, because the change that you've talked about, as opposed to transformation, is the kind of change that people strive for, you know, to become a different person or a better person.
Here's the problem with that. There is a real problem with that. So if you're coming from the idea that what you have isn't it, if this moment isn't it, it should be different than it is, then whatever you have is never enough. So even if you attain that master's degree, that's not enough. Oh, get a doctorate. That's not enough. It's not enough to have you feel well in yourself with consistency over time. Doesn't mean that when you first get it, it isn't exciting, but it doesn't mean that it's satisfying either, not over time.
I have a good example for you regarding your experience with change and your experience with transformation. I'm pulling from a long time ago. Okay. Many years ago, and I don't recall how many, you were pretty severely overweight. You were big.
Yeah.
And then you were one of the early people, I believe, who did the metabolic balance. You did a diet system, and you lost a significant amount of weight until you became more in the physique that you have today. And even when you lost all of that weight,
you still felt overweight.
Yes.
It didn't handle the dissatisfaction with your body. There was not enough you could lose
to feel good when you don't feel good with you.
Wow.
It's not circumstantially determined. Your well-being is not circumstantially determined. You can, a lot of people change locations in the world. Like we have a friend who works in Hong Kong, and there's a lot of expatriated people there, expats they call them, and they're all they do is drink and complain about the country they came from. And before they went to Hong Kong, they drank and complained about the city they lived in. And they thought if they could change their location, they would change the way they are.
And
But you see, you
before
bring
that, it
you,
was the family they came from.
right. You bring you to the circumstances of your life, no matter where you are location wise.
Now let's go back to you and your body image and your just your whole concept. I saw you in Costa Rica this past year, and it was glorious having you there. And there was one day where you had attention on your body and your stamina going forward, and and then when it transformed, it's as if you forgot you had a body. So from time to time, Shai would say, "How's your body now?" Out of the blue, and you'd be like, "What body?" Because you weren't trying to get better. You were here.
You see, trying to get better is in the realm of change. It's saying where you are is not enough or good enough, and you need to fix or change yourself so things get better. But that's all. It's all when your attention is on you, as though you are somehow deficient, need to be different than you are to be okay. Problem is, you can't be different than you are. You can only be the way you are. Now, if you could be okay being the way you are, then life would be grand.
Yes. And
Go ahead.
When you talked about Costa Rica this past January, yes, the experience there of really feeling well in myself to an extent that I don't remember ever feeling like that before is.
Well, you see, here, you had the cards stacked against you too. You see, and by that I mean you had been diagnosed with a medical condition.
Yes.
And then you filter your life through that diagnosis. And the diagnosis determines your well-being, because if you feel a little off, like I have a pain in my back right now. So I could make that mean something, or it's just a tight muscle that's going to loosen up as I move.
But the diagnosis is not a whole lot different than our self-diagnosis of I'm fat. And then you're like watching, did I have one mouthful too much?
I had 2 grapes today.
Did I?
Oh my God.
Oh no, it's like your attention's always on you and how you're doing. And what happened in Costa Rica is you just stopped working on you. It just fell away. It's not that you stopped, it let go of you.
No, it's what happened was you got engaged in something else.
Yes.
Other than your thoughts about how you're doing.
And that was great.
That is great. When you're lost in your thoughts about how you're doing, you never can do it well enough. I was watching the Olympics the other day, or a while ago, and there was this great American skater, figure skater. And to do what he does, he has to give up thinking about himself in the process of doing that. Because no 2 things can occupy you at the same time. And he was being in his body's natural knowing to make the kinds of flips that he did. Astounding.
You've seen that with professional athletes. They make a mistake and they either let that go and they move on to the next thing, or they beat on themselves and they compound it. And if it's the one I'm thinking of, he made a mistake.
Yes, but he still went on to win.
He not only went on to win, he put an element he missed early on. He just stuck it in later in the program, someplace random, so that he got credit for it. It was very cool to see how he just kept leaping in literally to what's possible.
Well, he kept creating his experience moment by moment. See, you get lost in your thoughts, and your thoughts have been your strong point, you see. Your intelligence has been what you've counted on to figure out how to go about life. And that's been your radar about how to navigate your life. But there's this other thing called being That isn't about thinking about your life. It's looking and seeing what's wanted and needed in current time and producing it.
Mm.
And that's what you've been doing lately.
Yeah.
But
And
you have been thinking to do it. See, the behavior itself has taken over your life. The behavior of looking and seeing and being.
rather than thinking. Yeah.
Rather than thinking.
Or in addition to thinking, because we're not putting thinking in the bad category and being in the good category. That's change. In a transformational setting, you notice when you're locked in thinking, you notice as that you're being here, and it's not one is good and the other is bad.
Mm. Such a really wonderful, and it's so hard to describe what transformation is, but it's really cool when you feel it, you know.
That's right.
Isn't that the case?
Yeah.
Yeah, I really admire you and all the people who either share this podcast or come to a seminar and say, hey, come find out what I'm up to. I think you'll really like it. Recently, there was a couple of guys who came to the 2-hour seminar who had heard about it from somebody who posted on their social media, that they trusted themselves enough to say, hey, let me give that a try. That sounds like it could be interesting. And they brought themselves into the unknown. I just find that so stunningly courageous. And yeah, it's really quite something wonderful.
Yeah, it is.
Mm.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're
thanks for being
welcome.
with us today. Really a treat.
Yes.
And one other thing, Dagmar, well, I know you're going, and I said it was really a treat, which it was, but I also know you filled in last minute because we had a guest who canceled. And this is one of those perfect things where you absolutely a few days ago had no clue this conversation was coming.
And this conversation may in some way impact the quality of your life in ways you can't even imagine.
Yeah. Again, thank you so much.
Mhm.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much.
As I was mentioning to Dagmar, you can share this podcast with your friends. You can subscribe. If you haven't already subscribed to our newsletter, I really recommend it. The podcasts we release, as in the videos, the blogs, the pictures, it's all inspiring, and you are invited to partake. You can find out all about all of our seminars and all of our offerings at transformationmadeeasy.com.
Also, next week's podcast is Skill Sets Grow.
Mm-hmm.
To find out what that's about, you have to come back.
Yeah, you complain, that grows. You're here, that grows. That was a preview. All right, we'll be back next week.
So come on back.
And don't miss being here.